Hello and welcome to the Stock News Report. I'm Jane King at the NASDAQ market site in Times Square. And with me today is Oscar Brito, the President and Chief Financial Officer of Metrospaces. Welcome, Oscar.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So let's start with just tell me about Metrospaces. What is the company all about?
Sure. Metrospaces is a startup private equity firm focused on real estate. Because of our limited size, we're a smaller competitor, if you would. We focus on luxury residential and hotel, but also operating companies that have strong real estate components to them. That's where I think we're going to make our mark and the niches that we're looking for. In that sense, we're looking at two condo projects here in New York, Brooklyn to be specific, but we've also acquired a Miami-based telco company that co-owns a small colo data center in Miami. So they do international calling services, but they also, they're a small owner in this data center, which is part of their services that they provide. So our view there was to get into the data center business, which in turn is really a real estate business. Yeah. They're much cheaper, obviously, to build out than a luxury hotel or luxury condo, but you have the potential of much higher returns because you're renting out $800 per rack as opposed to $800, for example, for a small one-bedroom apartment or a studio. So obviously, we're not trying to compete with the Amazons of the world because they have a more retail business. We're more looking for niche telco deals, value-added services. Okay. So our business is with Etilix is really to help them grow the data center, but also based on acquisitions, help them grow their telco business. This is what's going to drive the real estate behind, the whole play that we're doing.
Well, and that's a really interesting play. It's almost like a REIT for tech industry in a way.
That's exactly what we're looking at. Yeah. If you think about it, it's a bit what hotels did, early back when Marriott and they started in the hotel business. They were operators and real estate owners, but then the two became two separate businesses, and that's what we're seeing the potential of having here. We think we can grow the data center. That's our backbone, real estate, and we've partnered up with a strong management team at Etilix. These are guys that have been 25 years in the industry. We have huge clients such as Vodafone India that we just signed on recently. We've had long-time companies such as Movistar, Claro, which is the Americatel, Carlos Slim Group. We have over 100 networks, international companies in our network. So our business, what we're looking with Etilix is to continue to grow via acquisitions organically. Okay. We're looking at 4 or 5 different investment opportunities, add-on acquisitions. They can bring on, they're in different stages. I'm not going to go into a lot of depth into that because some of them are early stage. But we're looking to add anywhere from $6 to $100 million in revenue by these acquisitions. Anywhere from $1 to $10 million in EBITDA. Which will definitely drive the telco business, but all of this will be housed, in a physical place, in a data center, and that's where we're going to continue to look at, with strong opportunities. Okay. So our view will definitely be, the same thing that happened in the hotel industry, just to talk about that again, where we can sell off the telco at one point, but also the data centers could become either a REIT on their own, or we can just sell them off to a bigger player in the data center.
That's interesting. So now, was there also, did I read some international blockchain play involved in this telco as well? Okay,
absolutely.
So explain that.
That's a little early stage, but we're already talking to a couple firms out of Israel. We're setting up the architecture for a blockchain in the telco. Amazingly, and it's not a surprise to anybody who's been in the telco industry, they're always behind the curve a little bit as far as technology, and the reason is they're very large corporations. So what's happened there is that you have international calling services that are very dynamic, very digital, if you would, the whole interchange of calls and broadband, yet the billing service is extremely slow. It follows 30, 35 days behind. Which means that payments lag quite a bit. So we think implementing a blockchain, SaaS, if you would, or a marketplace even, would allow for telcos to be paid immediately upon, transacting a call or exchanging of broadband.
Okay, well, that's really interesting.
Yeah, we're looking to have a beta service set up by the third quarter. Hopefully, start testing it third and fourth quarter with our own client base, and then from then on, see how it deploys.
Now, also, Wine and Lodge. Is it the iCal Wine and Lodge? Am I saying that
correct,
correctly?
Yes.
So where is that? What is that exactly?
This is something we're very proud of. It's a bit in the back burner, to be honest with you, because of all the things that have happened in the U.S. with the condo projects that we're looking at and the Etilix deal. But it's a 75-hectare vineyard set up in one of the world's greatest winery areas. We're actually down the street from Rothschild Lafite, which is one of the few operations they have
in
outside
California?
of France. No, excuse me. This is in Mendoza, Argentina.
Okay, in Argentina.
In Argentina,
awesome.
yes.
Okay.
So the play there is that we already have a great premier wine. We're selling quite a bit to in wholesale grade to some of the regional makers. Moët Chandon is one of our big partners, and we're one of our big buyers. But it's obviously a real estate play. Mm-hmm. So we're looking to set up a boutique hotel, 25 rooms, with a spa, restaurant, a world-class vineyard, or winery rather. Mm-hmm. And we're going to have 25 luxury villas that are going to sell on a fractional ownership. So this is something that we'll be doing. We'll be focusing on a little bit more probably late this year, as some of our capital has been deployed in the telco and some of the local projects here in the U.S.
And there's another property, the El Naranjo Yunga Estates.
Correct.
Another one. Am I saying that correct?
Yeah, you're saying it perfectly.
Great. Okay. And tell me about that.
Sure. That's also in Argentina. It's in one of the northern provinces of Argentina called Salta. It actually starts right at the edge of the Amazon jungle. So it's really like a forest experience that we're trying to create. We have 7,500 hectares, which is a huge size. And we're going to be doing 32 lots of about 110 hectares, which is tremendously big. We'll build out, cabin-like type of homes. We'll have a boutique hotel. It'll be a whole, bird watching, sort of experience. You have amazing rivers, cascades. A lot of hiking is what we're going to, implement there. We'll have the glamping service, which is, glamorous camping, if you would, for a bit higher end forest experience, if you would. But that too is a bit in the back burner. As a small startup private equity firm, we have to really be focused on what we're doing. And right now our focus is Brooklyn condo projects that we're looking at, and telco, Etilix, to be perfectly focused.
There's a really diverse range of real estate that you're looking at, which probably protects you as economies kind of fluctuate and things go through cycles.
Well, as a private equity firm, we need to be diverse and have a series of companies in our portfolio. We wish we had more capital so we can deploy it a little bit faster, because obviously we can't do everything ourselves. So what we do is we partner up with strong management teams. That's what we did with Etilix. Like I said, these are all 25-year vets. And in the ECAL industry, my partner Daniel Silva, he's a 20-year vet in the hotel industry. I've been involved in quite a few hotel businesses. Probably the most iconic is the London Bulgari Hotel. I was one of the two founding partners. Oh. And my partner he's done a couple of really iconic projects in Playa del Carmen as well in Mexico. So we know hotel quite a bit. That's what my partner focuses on. I'm more on the financial side, if you would. And now with the Etilix guys, they're the ones taking care of telco. But our strategy is to find niches that we like, partner up with the experienced management team, and deploy the capital, raise the capital for them, make sure they have what they need to deploy their business strategy, and just sort of be there, for them to grow and continue to the next stages.
Now, how do you find these prospective investments, and then how do you do research on them to know that that's going to be a good value?
Absolutely. Well, we have, from my investment banking days, which I've been doing for 25 years or so, I have a lot of great deal flow, a lot of great friends in different industries. We try not to really steer off too much from real estate. I'd say telco was sort of something we didn't expect. It sort of happened because the management team at Etilix I've known for quite a bit from my previous investment banking experiences, and they sort of pointed out what the data center business was all about. So we dug in, we brought in additional people that knew real estate in the data center industry, and that's how we sort of got hooked into that. But it's really something that I've cultivated for quite a while, is my relationships in investment banking, deal flow, finance. So we have a group of people that I go to for funding and deal ideas, deal flow as well.
Now, I wanted to ask you about technology and the impact on the real estate industry, but it sounds like you also are kind of having a play in technology too, in addition to perhaps the industry is disrupted.
Look, technology is disrupting everything. It's no longer just an industry. It's actually going to overtake pretty much everything and anything. And we know real estate is not going to be an exception. We think as we are more comfortable where Etilix is at on its own, we're going to be focusing on crowdfunding for real estate. The 2 projects that we're looking at in Brooklyn will probably be the 2 first projects that we'll put into a crowdfunding site that we'll be developing and launching by the end of this year. We think that crowdfunding will be the way to fund real estate. Rates are going to have a lot of competition, I think, from crowdfunding. People are no longer going to want to invest in rates. They're going to look at particular deals. I think the investing community is more savvy now. They can make decisions on their own. So we'll be able to offer them different opportunities of being able to analyze each and make an investment directly. Obviously, blockchain, which is just something everybody's talking about, but there's something to it. Blockchain will definitely bring down the value of transaction for the real estate industry. Mortgages will come down as far as closing costs and everything else. So we think blockchain is something we're going to be also involved in the real estate as we're able to progress. You know, as a small firm, we got to be focused on what we're doing, and we're trying to be very focused.
Sure.
But we think that's going to be inevitable that we implement blockchain into a crowdfunding site, for example, and have that be the backbone of a crowdfunding platform, if you would, to raise money for deals.
Okay, so Oscar, so going forward, let's say like 1, 3, 5 years, where do you see Metrospaces over that time?
I want to be very focused on the 3 things that I probably just talked about, which are regular condo and development, because that's a niche that we know very well. We know how to do it. It's very profitable if the timing and the capital is right. We definitely want to continue very strong with Etilix and the data center business. And we think the blockchain crowdfunding for real estate are going to be, also something we're going to be focused on the next few years. So those will probably be the 3 main divisions that we would, if you would, and then within that, certain different acquisitions and investments. We think that will actually play out into the next 3-5 years, and it should be enough if we do it right.
Okay, thank you so much for coming and sharing the story of Metrospaces. So it sounds like fascinating real estate industry and involved in a lot of different things. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Jane. It's been a pleasure.
Oscar Brito, the President and Chief Financial Officer at Metrospaces, and thank you as well for joining us on the Stock News Report. I'm Jane King at the NASDAQ market site in Times Square. Have a great day.